First with Alderwoman Bennice Jones King in the 21st Ward and Committeeman Antonio French. I'm so out of politics, it's unbelievable, man. I don't have a clue how this stuff works. Committeeman, councilman, I don't know. But let's get it started. Let me first set the rules again. I'm gonna ask you a question. You have 2 minutes to reply. Tracy in the studio would count you down and give you signs of the time, and then if you continue to go, I would just turn your mic off because I'm asking each candidate to be respectful of the other, and they did that. So, and we're going to ask you some questions, and you can answer them any way you want. I'm going to say this once again. Let me do my disclaimer. I don't have a horse in the race. All right. So we're going to be very neutral here. We're going to ask questions. You guys, Alderwoman Bennice Jones King, you can answer it, or Committeeman Antonio French, you can answer it whatever way you want. So it's not a question deal or pre-answer deal. All right, let's first get started with Alderwoman Bennice Jones King. Tell the listeners a little about yourself.
Good morning, listening audience. I would like to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been a resident of the 21st Ward since 1977. I've lived there all these years, and I continue to live there. I have a husband of 18 years and 2 boys, Fortune and Justice, that were raised in the public schools and educated in the public schools, I should say, as well as myself. I'm a graduate of the Northeast Missouri State University, Truman State now, with a background in criminal justice and psychology. I once did 8 years in the circuit courts as administrative assistant, and then I moved off into the area of politics, where I presently am the elected Alderwoman of the 21st Ward for 14 years.
Okay, Mr. French?
Yeah, well, I want to thank you, DJ, for having me here today. I am currently the committeeman of the 21st Ward. I was elected last year. I am a lifelong resident of, born and raised right in the 21st Ward on the 4500 block of Athlone. I've been involved in politics most of my life. My grandmother served as committee woman, Myrtle French, for about 15 years before she passed away a couple of years ago. After graduating from Auburn University with a degree in political science, I came back to St. Louis after high school in 2000 and immediately got involved in public service, helped work on and manage campaigns and got a lot of good people elected. Worked on campaigns for my good friend, State Representative Jamila Nasheed, Rodney Hubbard, Lewis Reed, and many more. So I've been active and involved for many years. I've operated a political website, which many people have used as a trusted source for information. It's pubdef.net. And so now we're seeking to, after last year, unseating a 20-year incumbent in the 21st Ward as far as committeeman is going. We're looking to continue the movement of change in the 21st Ward and to get the services we need over here in our ward.
Let's stay with you, Committeeman French. You talk about the political movement and experience. What is your experience in politics?
My experience dates back, even when as a boy working around campaigns with my grandmother, learning a lot from her. But more directly, when I came back in 2000, I got deeply involved. So for my first campaign gig was doing field director for Missourians for election reform, which was a movement to get to change campaign finance laws in the state of Missouri to make it a more open and fair process. And we got that on the ballot for the first time in the state of Missouri after collecting 150,000 signatures. My next gig after that was managing a state senate campaign at the age of 21. I managed and won State Senator Wayne Good's last campaign in North County. After that, I did another state senate campaign. I managed Pat Doherty's campaign here in the city. And then I also managed my grandmother's re-election campaign several times. Worked on Lewis Reed's campaign, making him the first African-American ever elected as the president of the Board of Aldermen here in the city of St. Louis 2 years ago. Worked on Jamila Nasheed's campaign, got her elected over in our ward. And most recently, I managed Rodney Hubbard's state senate campaign.
Alderwoman Bennice Jones King, first of all, talk about, this is two-part, talk about your experience, and then talk about something that's going on in the 21st Ward. I'm talking about some new development. Give me that.
Okay. Well, I've been in politics all my life as well. My aunt, Billy Boykins, was the first African American female license collector for the city of St. Louis. I am the first African American female to be elected in the 21st Ward. So we've had a long history as far as politics involvement in our life. There was a combination that hasn't happened in the state since then, and that was the election of State Representative Amber Boykins, and her mother was the former state representative of that area. So they were the first mother and daughter duo to win the state representative seats that were there for in Jefferson City. So as far as involvement in the 21st Ward and being elected since 1993 and serving since then, I've brought about a lot of development that has happened in the 21st Ward. We have had in the first time in over 20 years, the mass number of development that has happened in the 21st Ward, and it has happened under my tenure. We've brought over 100 new units in the 21st Ward, 25 brand new constructed homes in the 21st Ward, and we have presently that's going to be breaking ground in August, a $22 million rec center that's going to be going over into O'Fallon Park. We also have an $8 million project that's going to residential townhouse project that's going to be breaking ground in April. So I've been involved in bringing development and improvements and stabilizing the community, and I've been there all the time. I didn't just come at the last minute and drop in. I've been there all the time, committed to providing services to the residents of the 21st Ward. So it's been a lifelong commitment. It's been dedication, and it's been hard work that I'm not afraid of.
Committeeman French, they talk about all this development and all the good things that are going on. How, if you were to become the alderman in the 21st Ward, what would be your vision?
Well, let's first put the situation in perspective. So, the 21st Ward has ranked dead last among Northside wards in terms of development for the last 4 years. When other wards average about 40 houses being built in that 4-year period in North St. Louis, I mean, I'm talking South St. Louis, just North St. Louis wards, the 21st Ward has only had 3 houses built in that period of time. As far as development, the 21st Ward has been left out. When you look at the strip along Natural Bridge, which is in 21st Ward between Shreve and Vandeventer, you see vacant buildings, vacant lots, and not the new commercial development that we need. That's going to be a focus when I'm alderman, is getting the economic development in the ward that we need that not only provides the services that we deserve to be able to buy our goods right in our neighborhood, but also provide the jobs that we need. And as far as housing, the biggest housing problem in the 21st Ward is because we have such a good housing stock, we have a problem with vacant buildings in neighborhoods and blocks that are otherwise stable. We need a plan to deal with those vacant buildings, not just to tear them down, but to rehab them. Rehabbing is another way to create jobs in our community and to stabilize our blocks and make safer blocks.
Alderwoman Bennice Jones King, you hear what Committeeman Antonio French said about the development. But when I looked, I'm seeing a new recreation center coming up. How do you address the position he just said that there's no development going in that strip?
Well, it's funny that he would bring that up with stating that we haven't had any development in over 4 years. Well, I'm hoping that the listening audience has been paying attention to the things that have been happening in the last 4 years. We've had a lot of economic plight that has happened throughout the country. So there hasn't been any development that has been happening anywhere throughout the country. So as far as to bring the breaking of the grounds in April, 31 new units costing $8 million is saying that we have set a platform to break this mold that has been happening. To bring a rec center costing $22 million over in O'Fallon Park is breaking the mold. So when my opponent speaks about dilapidated buildings, the 21st Ward has less vacant buildings than any of the North Side wards throughout the entire city of St. Louis. They also have less vacant land that has been in the entire area of the 21st Ward in North St. Louis. So when he wants to speak about vacant buildings and dilapidated and abandoned lots, he doesn't have a problem with putting his signs up on it at the same time of talking about the problems that we have existing with these vacant lots. You can pollute these lots with your signs, but you don't want to get involved and commit yourself to doing anything to improve the status of the 21st Ward. He's been elected committee man in the 21st Ward, just got elected committee man in the 21st Ward, and he's done nothing to try to work with me to try to improve the status of the 21st Ward. So he doesn't need to talk about what he's gonna do. I've done it.
Committeeman French, how do you address what Alderwoman Bennice Jones King said about the vacant properties and you putting signs? Is that true about putting signs up on vacant properties throughout your campaign?
Let me tell you, the vacancies in the 21st Ward are shameful. All right, and the neighborhood association, which Alderman King here directs most of our funding to, right across the street from the North Newstead Association is a vacant LRA piece of land that is literally, this building is literally falling down. I mean, we have a problem that if we don't address this soon enough, it could be a situation like that happened on Dr. King Boulevard a couple of years ago where bricks fell down and actually killed a young girl. Right across the street from the neighborhood association that gets hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars every year, and they've done nothing about that building. And if you look at that building right now on the corner of Rosalie and Pope, you will see a Bennice Jones King sign hanging proudly on this vacant, abandoned, fallen down building. So I don't think she's in any position to talk about anything like that. But first, let's go back to also what she's talking about with this recreation center in O'Fallon Park. Not only has the ball been dropped on the recreation center, it has been dropped, rolled into the street, and ran over by a truck. This recreation center, which is a huge project and could potentially give our community a lot of jobs and provide a service, we haven't had a single public meeting on it. The public in the 21st Ward hasn't had a single opportunity to look at the plans, and we're already at a point where the Streets Department is about to put that project out for bid on March 17th, and no one's gotten a chance to see the plan. So we don't know what is being built, we don't know if it's going to fulfill the needs that we have in our community, and we certainly don't know who is going to get jobs on that project. So that's a problem, and that's something I'll change as alderman.
Alderwoman Bennice Jones King, it seemed like the lightning rod in the city of St. Louis, not me not living there, is Mayor Francis Light. I mean, it seems as if everyone wants to tag him to everything that's going on in the city of St. Louis. I mean, all the heated races. Let me ask you this. What is your connection with the mayor of the city of St. Louis? Are you with him? Did you endorse him? And can you explain to the listeners exactly what's your relationship with him?
Well, I want to tell you that the mayor of the city of St. Louis is the commander-in-chief of the city of St. Louis. He is sitting in room 200 as the administrator of those things that need to happen throughout the entire city of St. Louis. I do not do endorsements. I cannot do endorsements. The committee man and the committee woman do endorsements. But with speaking to the fact that there is the existence of a relationship that might be with the commander-in-chief of the city of St. Louis, as the literature that has come out from my opponent tying me to the mayor of the city of St. Louis, a project called Cardinals Ballpark Village. Now, this is a project that's been sitting out there on the table for over 4 years, okay? And contrary to the popular belief, I haven't sat in that seat as the older woman, bowing down and being bought, intimidated, or threatened, or manipulated as to my position with any person in room 200. I do the things that are best for the 21st Ward. Business relationships exist between the mayor for the city of St. Louis, and that's it. I do what I need to do to better the situation for the 21st Ward. I am supportive of jobs coming into the 21st Ward. The rec center will be proposed to bring about the services and employ those people that are living in the area. So for him to speak about a public meeting not being held, the only reason why he doesn't know about the rec center is because he doesn't come to the meetings. He's not in the area, and he has not been listening about any of the projects or any development or any improvement that's being made to the 21st Ward. If you're absent in action, you're not going to know anything about what's going on in the 21st Ward, and he's absent.
Mr. French, what is your opinion of the mayor? Are you currently working with him? Do you support him? What is your take on it?
Okay, let's first go back to this absence thing. The absence, a good example of absence is when the Parks Committee, which you sit on, the board you sit on, when they meet to dole out funding for parks a week ago and you weren't at the meeting. That is a good example of absence. And as far as this ballpark village is concerned, the ballpark village, as it was passed and you voted on, which gives millions and millions of dollars to already rich developers and the Cardinals, the current incarnation is a bad deal for taxpayers. The original deal was to build both a mix between retail and residential space. The deal that passed and my opponent voted for provides office space, and we already have a large percentage of vacancy downtown of office space. So this not only builds office space that is unneeded and we don't even have an occupants for, but it actually works against the people who already own businesses downtown. And as far as the mayor, there's been no greater critic of the mayor of the Slay administration than me and on pubdev.net. And I don't even have to say anything else about that. Pubdev.net has been a pain in the mayor's butt since the very beginning, and you know, I will continue to shed light on those things that other people do not talk about in the mayor's administration and get that stuff out there so people can understand the complexities of what's going on and be on with that, and especially when they go. I'm out of town. Sorry. I'm going to respect your time.
Alderwoman King, let's talk about the King Estates. I mean, it's alleged that that is strictly a cash cow for investments that you got into and did not finish, and most politicians, developers understand that, and our community is strengthened entire by the community of the development. What is the King Estate, and what is your relationship with it?
Well, the King's Estate has a very unique history to it. It's one that did start out, and there was a private developer that came in to do the development on that project. That developer fell upon some hard times. The developer that was coming in with his own investment, his own dollars, decided he wanted to name it King's Estates. I was happy. I don't see anything wrong with it. So with knowing that we have to support developers coming into the area, I was happy with the fact that out of 20 years, there had never been any development in that area of the 4500 block of North Newstead. There hadn't been any development in over 20 years. So with a developer showing the interest in wanting to come in and bring development of a magnitude of houses existing and being sold for over $200,000, this is doing a remarkable impact to the economy of that area. It's now tripled, if not quadrupled, the price of those houses that were sitting in that area being redlined. So the King's Estate is not a cash cow. It's a project that is going to receive a lot of dedication and a lot of time to improve. It has brought a minority contractor, now the Kwame development company, wanting to come in and finish that project out. We have existing 3 homes in that area. The project calls for 7 homes to come into that area, in an area that has been sitting and being plagued with weeds, debris. It was a dumping site. So now we have happy homes coming up and families living in them. The area was improved for development. It's safe. It's a very, very safe environment, and it's perfect for those type of homes. And it's going to drastically improve the housing stock in the area. It's a wonderful area, it's a beautiful area, and it's going to be a beautiful complex.
Committeeman French, the most important quality of an elected official is to have the ability to lead by example. Can you explain why there's been no taxes paid on a property which claim is yours, it's your home, and no taxes paid for 3 years? Can you talk about that?
All right, first let me go to the King's Estates project. The King's Estates project is a disaster, all right? It's been 10 years in the making. Over $500,000 of our precious money in the 21st Ward, which is intended to generate housing that people can actually afford, has been thrown down the drain for a project she named after herself. The people who own the properties, one of the gentlemen called me up after he got the mailer and said he was so frustrated with it. He called me over to bring a yard sign in King's Estate in front of his house. He was the first person to buy that house. He bought it for $195,000 and already has lost $60,000 of value on that property. He is tired of looking at vacant lots next to the house that he was sold, claiming it was going to be a community. He is tired of looking at unfinished projects that have gone through 6 developers. That's how bad that project has been. And thank goodness that Kwame is now in charge of it, because they are a reputable development firm, and we hope they can finish it. But throwing good money after bad is not the answer, especially when you have other needs. The need in the 21st Ward is not to build houses that sell for $200,000. It's to build houses that people can actually afford. It's to rehab those vacant buildings that are on blocks that are destabilizing blocks. Now, as far as this, the house that you're talking about is a house that my grandmother owned. My grandmother passed 2 years ago, and when she passed away, it went to my aunt. So if my aunt owes taxes on that, then that's something that I will inform my aunt of. But let me tell you, I knew that question was going to come up. And you know how I knew it was coming? Because I got a call from City Hall 2 days ago that said that a woman claiming to be my dead grandmother called up to ask what she owed on her taxes. Now that is the kind of dirty and filthy politics that keeps young people from wanting to get involved in this game, unfortunately. And so, you know, I'd ask my opponent if she knew who impersonated my dead grandmother to call down to City Hall last week.
Well, let's do this. We're going to take a break. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back. We got about 6 minutes when we come back to finish our debate with Alderwoman Bennice Jones King of the 21st Ward and Committeeman Antonio French, who's running for Alderman of the 21st Ward. Demetrius Johnson, Hot 104.1 is Hip Hop and R&B. We'll be right back.
Shake just a little now, girl. I'm dying to meet you, so let's mess around. Got an obsession.
Deeper than rap, with your own chance to spend a magnificent night out of the town with Rick Ross. It's a Rick Ross Magnificent Winning Weekend. Win Rick Ross's new album, It's Deeper Than Rap, in stores Tuesday, March 17th. And you'll also get to spend a magnificent night with the boss. Yeah, we all know Rick Ross has some beef with you-know-who. And that person took Rick's baby's mama shopping. So the boss wants to take out not just your baby mama, but all the ladies out on a magnificent night. The website for all the 411. 1041stl.com. It's a Rick Ross Magnificent Winning Weekend. 104.1 is Hip Hop and R&B.
The car, truck, van, or SUV you want. The credit you deserve. Illinois Cars and Credit has guaranteed credit approval for you. Call 1-800-4CREDITS and drive away today. Over 300 vehicles for you to choose from. Late model, low mileage, fully inspected and ready to deliver to you. 1-800-4CREDITS. Tired of being turned down or being told that you only qualify for a car you wouldn't pay $50 for? Illinois Cars and Credit has guaranteed credit approval for you, no matter what your credit history. Call now. 1-800-4CREDITS. That's 1-800-427-3348. 1-800-427-3348. Let Illinois Cars and Credit put you in the car you want with the credit you deserve. At Illinois Cars and Credit, everybody drives. Call 1-800-4CREDITS.
The reason why we don't take calls,
1-800-427-3348.
I don't know if I told you that. The reason why I don't take calls is because I don't never want to give one opponent the advantage or the other to stack the calls, and then they use it against you. I don't take calls because one opponent can have people calling in saying all this stuff, and you really don't know what's really true, so we don't never take calls. That's what I'm trying to do.
In Metamorphic, Dwayne Johnson, Chanel Iman, Chris Paul, and Farnsworth Bentley, all in this issue. Pick up your copy of Giant at Borders, Barnes & Noble, and your local newsstand. Check out GiantMag.com today.
Is your debt getting bigger?
Oh,
Are you falling behind on your bills and receiving collection calls? Well, it's not your fault. Millions of Americans are buried in credit card debt
we're going to go over about 5 minutes, though.
Divorce,
I finished him, I need to at least get my man in
luck.
to talk about
But
that.
now there's a way you can get debt-free faster than you ever imagined. Call Credit Card of America today for free information, and you'll learn how you can cut your monthly payments by up to half, lower or even eliminate your interest rates, and stop the collection calls once and for all. For free information, call 1-800-500-4024.
Why you let me
We
go
owed
over?
$25,000 to the credit card company.
Yes, why you let me go
This
over?
year, we're going to be debt-free.
Credit Card of America won't just help you get debt-free. We'll show you how to improve your credit status.
They help me pay off 10 credit cards and rebuild my credit rating.
Call us today to learn how you can cut your monthly payments by up to half and get debt-free. For free information, call 1-800-500-4024. That's 1-800-500-4024.
Did you know the St. Louis Public Schools have gifted education program, magnet schools, plus a solid foundation in core curriculum taught in safe, efficient
Who was the last one to
all
talk?
tuition free. Learn more at slps.org.
I'm getting old.
You belong.
Now, back to Demetrius Johnson on Hot 104.1.
It's Hip Hop and R&B.
WHHL on 104.1 FM. Hazelwood, St. Louis. views expressed by Demetrius Johnson and Associates are their own and do not express the views of Hot 104.1. Now,
Here we go.
here he is, Mr. Demetrius Johnson.
Welcome back to the Demetrius Johnson Show on Hot 104.1. In the studio, we have Alderwoman Bennice Jones King of the 21st Ward and Committeeman Antonio French, who's running for Alderman of the 21st Ward. So I want to say once again, thank those folks for coming in. We really appreciate the candidates and their conversation. Let's get back to it. I think we ended up with Committeeman French. Let me turn over to let me go to Alderwoman Bennice Jones King. You know, we talk about all these programs that's going on and the crime. Let's talk about the crime in the 21st Ward.
Okay.
What have you done about the crime, and what can we do to get people to invest back into our community to take that crime out?
Well, I want to also answer that question, but I want to give some response. I don't know anything about someone calling down and checking on the taxes, but I would think that a person that lives in that house would have to be completely blind if they want to ignore the fact that if your grandmother is deceased and the taxes are owed, somebody has to pay them. And for the allegations to go out that this is a disaster over with the Kings Estates project, the economy has been the way that it has been for 10 years. We've been dealing with this problem for over 8 years. So the monies that went into the Kings Estate project was to also help with the cleanup of the site, as well as for that developer that is there now to have a gap assistance and to offer some incentives for first-time homeowners to come in and buy in the area. So moving to the situation involving our crime problems that we have here, the committeeman has indicated that we have the highest crime rate in the entire north portion of the city. Well, that's untrue. There are other areas that are higher in crime rate that exist there. And being involved in bringing about positive programs that are to address the problems that we have, I'm a proactive type of person. I want to bring projects that will help deal with and address the problems that we have with our young individuals out on the streets and not having any place to go. After I've spoken to before, we have a jewel that's coming over into O'Fallon Park. It is going to offer resources as well as recreation to all of the residents in the northern portion of the 21st Ward, as well as throughout the entire city as a whole. So that's a proactive approach with trying to bring improvements in addressing the problems that we have with the crime and our youth not having anything to do. It's also one of the most effective things that has happened is dealing with the Neighborhood Accountability Board. I'm a member of the Neighborhood Accountability Board to assist those young individuals that are right now facing problems with the courts, trying to be an active individual to provide them services so that they won't be lost to the streets.
Committeeman Antonio French, we talked about, you made an interesting point. You talked about PubDef, your computer or your website, that you're very deliberate on the statements and things that's going on in the community. If that's the case, knowing that if Mayor Francis Lay happened to get back in office, would you be able to cultivate and work with the mayor of the city of St. Louis? He's the mayor. I mean, regardless of what your opinions are, he's the mayor of the city. How would you work with him and cultivate a relationship with him if you were the alderman of the 21st Ward?
Well, let's see. First of all, PubDef I think has been fair. It's been outspoken, but it has been fair. And secondly, I don't think to have a relationship with the mayor, you have to bow down to the mayor every time, especially when it comes to his position with regard to development in North St. Louis and equality when it comes to African Americans in the city. So I think we need, in 21st Ward, an advocate for our community, not someone who is advocating the mayor's positions alone. But let's talk about, get back to here about crime. I like an opportunity to talk about the crime. The 21st Ward, the neighborhoods that make up in whole or in part of the 21st Ward account for 20% of the city's murders. All right, so that is a problem. That is a real problem. That is to say that 1 out of every 5 young men who is killed in the city of St. Louis is killed in one of the neighborhoods of the 21st Ward. That is a problem. To address that, one of the plans that State Representative Jamila Nasheed and I have is to organize strong block units on every block in the 21st Ward starting this year. Now, the block units create a safer block when they are organized and people can communicate with one another and communicate back and forth with their elected officials and the police department. Safer, organized blocks is typically safer blocks. One of the problems we have in the 21st Ward is that the block unit captains, block unit organizations, those neighborhoods, those citizens who are organized can't get in contact with the alderman. That is the biggest complaint that we have. When I go door to door and talk to people, biggest complaint I get is that she doesn't return calls. I can't reach her when I need her. She doesn't attend our meetings. As a matter of fact, as committeeman, I spend a lot of my time getting phone calls based upon people who can't reach her. So it's hard to get that kind of cooperation between the police and our neighbors and our elected officials when one of those components isn't at the table and isn't responding.
Alderwoman Bennice Jones King, the same question. You're in there right now. How have you been able to work with the mayor, or have you been not able to work with the mayor to get, I guess, things done in your ward?
Well, you have to have a working relationship with all of those people that sit in administration, and the mayor being one of them. So I've not, and most of the people would have to recognize and know, I've not bowed down to anyone down there. I've not been a person that you can actually say only complies with those wishes of the mayor. I don't bow down to anyone. I've been effective in my deliverance of those services to be provided to the 21st Ward. I'm not absent. I'm not vacant. I didn't decide to just come back to the 21st Ward. I've been committed and dedicated to the 21st Ward. I've been addressing the issues that we deal with on a daily basis as far as the problems that exist there, the crime being one of them. So to say that I'm not accessible to the people that are there, it's awfully strange that there are a lot of people that have found me accessible when they've come looking for me and needing to talk to me about whatever the concerns and issues are of the 21st Ward. I have served and done the things that I need to do to improve the entire 21st Ward. And I've been a part of bringing about wholesome, collective legislation for the entire city. So I serve the 21st Ward with dedication and commitment. I'm there. I've been accessible. I've addressed the needs. I put in position initiatives that will help improve the conditions of the 21st Ward. I've committed myself to the 21st Ward. And that's more to say, even with the my opponent speaking about pub death, he knows that he can blog out any person that wants to give any type of question that they want an answer to. He knows that he does that. And so with him saying that he is making himself accessible and working with the state representative, why hasn't the state representative as well as the committee man come to the table to try to work with me? They've not done any of that. They don't want to do any of that.
Committeeman Antonio French, we're going to go ahead and conclude. And I got this question for you. Why is it, why do you want to be the alderman of the 21st Ward? Why is that?
The most simple answer is simply I live in this community, and I don't like the direction that we've gone in the last 16 years since the current alderwoman was first elected. We have not gotten our fair share of the pie. People in our community see what's happened in other parts of the city. They see what's happened downtown. They see what's happened in some South Side neighborhoods. And it's about time that the 21st Ward was included in some of that redevelopment that's going on, some of that investment in the city. And also, as a committeeman, it breaks my heart to get calls from seniors especially who are in need of help, especially in terms of home repair, in terms of stabilizing their block, in terms of dealing with problem properties on their block, and they can't get help from City Hall. They call, and they call the current alderman, and they get nothing in response. So I think the 21st Ward finally deserves a responsive alderman, one who is proactive and one who will address the needs of our community. So that's why I'm running.
Bennice, Alderwoman Bennice Jones King, quality. What's the quality of a leader, and why should you remain the 21st Ward person?
The quality of a leader is a person who makes themselves available to address the concerns of any persons throughout and ward. And that we're speaking about the 21st Ward. I have placed myself in being dedicated to the concerns of the 21st Ward. I've been there, since I stated, since 77. I've been married 18 years in the 21st Ward. I've addressed the home repair problems that are needed in the 21st Ward. I've addressed the senior problems that are needed in the 21st Ward. We have a seniors independent living facility in the 21st Ward to speak about the problems with the seniors that exist there. I have worked with making sure that when those individuals were falling on hard times and did not have baskets or things to feed their children and nourish their families, I was there providing food to do such a thing. I also provided furniture for those families with the help of friends that have helped me to make sure that those provisions have been made to those residents of the 21st Ward. I've committed myself. I've educated my family there. I'm there all the time. So to have someone speak about me not being accessible and to also want to run on the coattail of another elected official and the things that they should be doing but have not done, I'm running on my own coattail on those things that I have done because I've been committed and dedicated to doing those things. My track record speaks for itself. Evidence and improvement is all throughout the entire 21st Ward. So it's not a secret as to what I've been doing. I am transparent. You can see me, you can have me, you can do those things and know that I'm going to be there to represent those people. Committed, dedicated, and true to what I've said.
Okay, I need to do this. Hold on a sec. Committeeman Antonio French. Okay, you got 60 seconds. I'd like you to tell the people, when you get off this air, the perception or whatever you want to give them, why should they elect you for the 21st Ward Alderman?
All right. I want to again thank you, DJ, for allowing me to be on the show. My message to the people of the 21st Ward is clear, is simple, is that if you are tired of having an alderman you cannot get in contact with and is not there when you need her, if you're tired of reading in the Post-Dispatch about our alderman hooking up her family members with city money, if you're tired of having an alderman not address the issues that are relevant to us, which is crime, abandoned buildings, vacant buildings, my message is simple, that in 9 days, help is on the way. Change is coming to the 21st Ward. Time is almost up for Alderwoman King and her style of politics. And on March 3rd, I invite everyone to come out and vote for Antonio French and to vote for change in the 21st Ward.
Alderman Bennice King, your time. Why should they re-elect you?
They should re-elect me because, as I stated before, the 21st Ward is back on track. We have been making change. I have committed and stated that change as promised. I've promised stability of the 21st Ward, efficient and stable housing of the 21st Ward. Affordable housing has happened in the 21st Ward. As I indicated before, an $8 million affordable housing project is coming in the 21st Ward at the corner of Lee and Newstead. I have proven that I can do the job. I have done the job. And so when a person speaks about a person not being accessible, it's awfully strange that you would say that I'm not accessible when I can't even deal with the committee man that's been elected. He's been in office, elected since August. He's done nothing in his position as the committee man. I've been elected 14 years as the alderwoman of the 21st Ward, and my record speaks for itself. Change has happened and is happening in the 21st Ward. That's why I'm asking the residents of the 21st Ward to re-elect Bennice Jones King.
Well, Alderwoman Bennice Jones King, I want to thank you. Committeeman Antonio French, I want to thank you. Thank you very much for coming on and expressing. And good luck on March 3rd.
Thanks,
and I would love to, whoever wins, I'd love you to come back on the show and then talk about some more of the vision that you guys have for the 21st Ward. So, Antonio French, Committeeman, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Alderman Bennice Jones King, thank you very much. And I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, in here.
I tell you, we're going to come back with, we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back with TV Alameen.